Good afternoon, Patuxent High School. I'm Mr. Sloan with a couple announcements. First of all, Paw Prints, the magazine, would like to remind you to check them out on Twitter and Instagram. New articles will be up by the end of the week and will continue to be added to their social media platforms and their website next week. For more information or questions, please contact Miss Sandusky. Interested in taking an AP course? We'll plan on attending our virtual AP Info Night on Thursday, February 11th at 5:30 p.m. Hear about AP courses offered at PHS, the supports in place to help students succeed in the advanced prep world, and from current and former students themselves. Not to mention, a representative from St. Mary's College will be present to talk to you about the admission counselor's perspective when it comes to AP courses and transcript review. Incoming 9th graders enrolling in AP Gov and students considering taking AP for the first time are highly encouraged to attend, but all students and parents are welcome to attend. Then plan on sticking around because it's 6:30 p.m. on Thursday, February 11th. Registration night kicks off. That's right. The virtual registration night will give you an opportunity to see video packages from elective course teachers and see what there is to offer outside of your pathway selected coursework. If you have any questions, please contact Miss Brickner. That's all from the Bunker on Bean. Now, let's get on with the variety show!
Hello, Carver here today, and today I want to talk to you about composting. Composting is the cool way to get rid of organic material and cut down on the amount of trash you drop at the curb. Let's take a look at my family's compost pile. It's wicked sweet. Let's go take a look at our compost, shall we? Always want to start with the brown layer, like dead leaves, sawdust, Carver, cardboard, or tree bark, and then add a layer of green material, fruit and veggie scraps, eggshells, coffee grounds, or grass clippings, then continue to alternate your brown and green layers accordingly. Compost is great because it's an easy way to recycle and good for the environment. Anyhow, that's all for now. Have a safe and fantastic day.
It is WrestleMania season. That means it's time to kick off the most exciting time of the year in WWE with the annual Royal Rumble event.
What?
There will be 30 men competing against each other and 30 women competing against each other. This year, in the traditional Royal Rumble matches, the prize of challenging for a world title on the grandest stage of them all on the line. This year's Royal Rumble event takes place on Sunday, January 31st, inside the Thunderdome at Tropicana Field in Tampa. The show will be shown live on the WWE Network beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, following a 1-hour kickoff show beginning at 6 p.m. Some of the male participants include Edge, Dolph Ziggler, Jeff Hardy, Cesaro, Otis, Big E, and Randy Orton. Some of the female participants include Nia Jax, Charlotte Flair, Bayley, Bianca Belair, Mandy Rose, and Donna Brooke. The matches are almost guaranteed to deliver surprises, but there will be a full card of action filling out the rest of the event, including some potentially huge championship matchups. So, go out and get some popcorn because you're going to want some when watching the WWE Royal Rumble.
It has been said by several current and former professional baseball critics that Jackie Robinson broke the race barrier, but Hank Aaron took African Americans playing baseball to a whole different level. A child of the Jim Crow South, Aaron quit high school to join the Negro League, playing shortstop for $200 a month, before earning a spot in Major League Baseball. Humble and hardworking, Hank was often overlooked until he started chasing Babe Ruth's home run record. at which point he began receiving death threats and racist letters. Letters he would later reread to remind himself not to be surprised or hurt. Aaron is famously quoted for saying, "That was part of why I guess I broke the record, was the fact that a lot of people thought it couldn't be done, and a black person doing it was not something they were ready to see." Hank, by the name of Henry Lou Aaron, passed away last Friday, January 22nd, 2021, at the age of 86. During his 23 seasons in the MLB, Aaron surpassed batting records set by some of the greatest hitters in the game, including Babe Ruth, Ty Cobb, and Stan Musial. Famous for breaking records and smashing baseballs, Hank Aaron was so much more than that. After retirement, he helped children reach their dreams by starting the Chase the Dream Foundation in 1994 with his wife. The organization has given hundreds of children scholarships. He and his family have also put together the Hank Aaron Invitational every year for minority baseball players to learn from the ball players from Hank Aaron's generation and learn the history of the game. While his impressive baseball career will always be cherished, the lives he impacted and the memories others share with him will also carry on his legacy.
According to the World Wildlife Fund, 10,000 species go extinct every year. That number is 1,000 to 10,000 times higher than the natural extinction rate. Some of the most famous animals made extinct due to humans are the dodo, the great auk, and the Tasmanian tiger. These are only a few of the 680 vertebrate species humans have driven to extinction since 1600. Aside from the ones mentioned, humans are also making many bugs, plants, and a host of others to go extinct. Extinction means the end of a species and cannot be brought back in today's day and age. An estimated 1 billion species are endangered and nearing the jaws of extinction as of 2019, according to Nature.com. We all know the staples of this unfortunate group: the rhino, tigers, and elephants, and many other species, not just limited to mammals. How many more animals will fall down the inescapable hole of extinction is unclear. What is clear is we need to do something about it. What is causing mass endangerment of species? One of the biggest and most obvious causes is habitat destruction. Humans are unfortunately masters of this craft. From making room for agriculture, animal pastures, logging, and even mining, we destroy so many habitats that it is generally considered to be the number one cause of animal extinction. Another big factor is overharvesting animals. This mainly applies to sea life, but affects other species too, like trees and animals for their pelts. According to theworldcounts.com, the oceans might be virtually absent of sea life by 2048. Pollution is the biggest factor that many people have contributed to directly themselves. One look down any major highway will show you how humans pollute in everyday life. Aside from litter, we also dump trash in landfills and release pollutants into the air. How can you help? The biggest and easiest thing you can do is donate. If you have any spare change lying around and want to help, there are plenty of organizations trying to stop the effects humans are having on the earth. The biggest animal charity being the World Wildlife Fund, and another great one is Endangered Species International. Another big way you can help is by recycling. Instead of throwing trash into landfills, you can recycle and use the same materials repeatedly. If you feel really ambitious and want to help more, you can go out and clean your neighborhood, beaches, etc. Or even send a letter to your state representative. We have the power to change the world for the better.
This past weekend sparked some pretty heated conflict between China and Taiwan. To understand the current state of this conflict, you should first know how it started. Taiwan is an island south of Japan that for many years was considered Chinese territory. However, in 1949, during a civil war in China, people that disagreed with the communist practices of the Chinese government fled to the island in hopes to establish their own independence. They called themselves the Republic of China, or the ROC, while China was named the People's Republic of China. Both Taiwan and China considered themselves the real China and had many disputes over the sovereignty of Taiwan. To this day, Taiwan is identified by many countries as a country, but technically it is not. China wants to reclaim Taiwan as part of China, while most Taiwanese would like to become independent. However, China has threatened that if they were to do so, they would be forced to join China because of their military power. So, China and Taiwan have technically been at war with each other since 1949 and remain in a very complicated state of agree to disagree. This brings us to the current conflict. This past weekend, according to The Hill, China sent large numbers of military aircraft into the southwestern portion of the Taiwan Air Defense Identification Zone, near the strategic Pratas Islands, which guard the southern approach to the Taiwan Strait. These military aircraft included nuclear-capable bombers. This exercise of power not only was a threat to Taiwan, but to the United States as well. Taiwan and the US have a mutual agreement of partnership. Basically, the US is an ally to Taiwan and vice versa. One thing to take note here is the timing of this advancement by China, in correlation with the inauguration of the new president. It is speculated that the Chinese were fearful of President Trump's unpredictability, and this show of aggression may be a shot at President Biden to see what he'll do. Biden is in communications with the Chinese government, and he has promoted the use of dialogue with Taiwan. In response to the movement of Chinese military, the United States Navy Theodore Roosevelt Carrier Strike Group entered the South China Sea to promote freedom of the seas. China claims almost the entire body of water as its own blue national soil, even though almost every other country considers it a part of the global commons. This news is still unfolding as we speak, so there are high tension levels among the United States, Taiwan, and China. This could be a war that the US military might have to be more involved in. China has much more military capabilities than that of Taiwan, so the assistance of the United States might be necessary.
We are 8 days into Joe Biden's term as president. In his first week, he has signed an abundance of executive orders that relate to climate change, racial justice, controlling the ongoing pandemic, and much more. One of his most popular, yet controversial orders so far is the repeal of the Keystone XL pipeline project. People are either happy with this or upset. Some people are probably wondering, why is it even a big deal? Well, why don't we first explain what the pipeline is? The Canadian company TransCanada proposed the idea of an oil and bitumen pipeline that would stretch 1,179 miles, running between Alberta, Canada, and Illinois to Texas. The XL project is an addition to an already existing pipeline called Keystone. It would have given a more direct route in the system. The original pipeline was constructed in 2005, and there have been protests ever since. Now, why is the cancellation of this project such a controversial matter? The project is estimated to support around 42,000 temporary jobs over its 1 to 2 year construction. There is also a lot of doubt on how many permanent jobs it would have created if it was ever built. Also, there are potential harmful effects it could have had on the surrounding environment. Farmers and ranchers that lie in the path of the pipeline have raised concerns over the harmful effects it could have had on their property. There's a possibility of oil spills that could have polluted the water for their livestock. Native Americans also showed concerns that the pipeline could damage their sacred lands and contaminate the water, animals, and land they depend on. In fact, there was already a spill back in 2017 from the existing pipeline where about 210,000 gallons of oil leaked. But also the oil sands that it extracts is already well known for its environmentally unfriendly extraction methods. But what about the gas prices? This seems to be the biggest concern for the people who do support it. An article that was posted by Forbes back in 2014 states there's 2 things we can say about the effect of the Keystone XL pipeline on gas prices. One is that it will, if built, have no effect at all upon gas prices, and the other is that it might actually raise them. In a recent article by Newsbreak, they stated, gasoline prices are expected to increase at least 20 cents per gallon over 2020 prices. Experts cite the reason for the lower prices in 2020 being a lower demand due to the pandemic. They expect prices to escalate in 2021 and demand increases with the recovery after the pandemic. So far, President Joe Biden does not plan to keep America energy independent or work towards it due to the goal of reaching a better and safer climate and environment. With this information, we don't know yet exactly how this will affect us. The oil and gas industry is an ever-changing industry and hard to keep track of sometimes. Only time will tell what the president's plans are to keep the American citizens satisfied on both sides.
This is it. What a crazy year it was for the NFL. COVID running wild across America and within some NFL teams. Yet the leagues still held firmly to their COVID policies and played all 17 regular season games and all of the playoffs. Now there's only one game left to play, Super Bowl 55. The fresh face of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, led by not-so-fresh face Tom Brady, against the defending champions Kansas City Chiefs, led by Patrick Mahomes. Last time these two faced off was Week 12, and Kansas City came out with a 27-24 victory. A lot of history could be made at this game. If the Buccaneers win, Tom Brady will become the first quarterback in NFL history to win a Super Bowl with an AFC team and an NFC team. Plus, it will be the first time a team has won the Super Bowl in their home stadium. If the Chiefs win, Mahomes will be the youngest quarterback to win back-to-back Super Bowls. Now, if you thought back when Brady was with the Patriots, if the Mahomes versus Brady matchup in the championships were amazing, this is going to absolutely be way better. The Chiefs are 3-point favorites against the Buccaneers, so you don't want to miss this game. So make sure you tune in to CBS. Super Bowl 55 starts at 6:30 p.m. from Raymond Jones Stadium in Tampa, Florida.